And a recent court case about 7/7 released significant new evidence showing these 4 men did carry out the attacks. Soon after, 7/7 investigators had uncovered the bomb factory in a flat in Leeds. And these photographs show the equipment at the scene. The court also saw an A4 pad with the handwriting of Khan, Hussein and Tanweer. It was found in the same flat. Evidence they planned the attacks. At the bomb sites, investigators found the explosions were caused by high explosives carried in rucksacks, detonated while placed on the floor of the tube carriages and the bus. There was no evidence of remote detonation or timers. And what about the Guardian report of witnesses saying the explosion came from underneath the tube at Edgware Road? The journalist spoke to other witnesses, closer to the blast, who clearly said the explosion came from inside the tube and not underneath. Skeptics who have relied on Tony Blair's statement as evidence there was a government plot to demonise Muslims are on weak ground.
Act in the name of Islam.
They ignored what he went on to say.
But we also know that the vast and overwhelming majority of Muslims, here and abroad, are decent and law-abiding people who abhor this act of terrorism every bit as much as we do. But we also know that the vast and overwhelming majority of Muslims, here and abroad, are decent and law-abiding people who abhor this act of terrorism every bit as much as we do.
What is extraordinary is that conspiracy theories persist in spite of the fact that both Mohammed Siddiq Khan and Shehzad Tanweer recorded martyrdom videos. Although the London attacks are not mentioned, the call to holy war is plain to see.
With this, I leave you to make up your own mind, and I ask you to make dua to Allah Almighty to accept the work from me and my brothers and enter us into gardens of paradise.
London attacks are not mentioned, the call to holy war is plain to see.
With this, I leave you to make up your own mind, and I ask you to make dua to Allah Almighty to accept the work from me and my brothers and enter us into gardens of paradise.
What's more, a year ago, CCTV showing the 4 bombers' movements on 7/7 was finally released. This footage showed all 4 men in London that day. Previously, Nick Colostrom, the man who revealed the mistake about train times, had argued the men were never there.
What are people saying, really?
But aren't they the images that you've
been questioning?
There would seem to be, yeah. So,
do you think it proves the government's case?
well, it might do. I can't say that at the moment. No, I certainly couldn't say that at the moment.
But there's something you don't know about Nick Kollerstrom. He claims the deliberate extermination of Jews in the Holocaust is the greatest lie ever told. 2 years ago, he published an article on the internet entitled "The Auschwitz Gas Chamber Illusion."
I don't speak German. I don't go to Germany. I've never the slightest interest in Nazi philosophy or anything. But I believe what I wrote was absolutely correct. I totally stand by what I said. I'd be happy to present it anywhere.
Rachel North helped expose Nick Kollerstrom's pernicious theory.
If his so-called research has led him to these frankly ridiculous conclusions about the Holocaust, then why on earth would you trust any of his research into 7/7 and 9/11 as well? He obviously is of a mindset where he is quite able to willfully ignore scientific or historical or eyewitness or forensic evidence. So I suppose that's, you know, I think it is worth flagging that up to people.
The 7/7 ripple effect film is stirring up suspicion about the bombings, sowing dissent across Britain. The film viciously targets a number of innocent people, falsely accusing them of involvement in an official conspiracy to kill British citizens.
Why are Peter Power, Richard Jones, Commissioner Ian Blair, the anti-terrorist branch who shot and murdered these innocent people, the Israeli Mossad, Tony Blair and the government itself not under investigation for these horrendous crimes, enabling the
This far, the man behind 7/7 ripple effect, Muad Deeb, had evaded scrutiny, but we tracked him down. Ireland. The search for the man behind 7/7 ripple effect has brought us here. From the town of Kells, Muad Deeb has waged a propaganda war to win Britain over to his distorted vision of reality. We can reveal Muad Deeb is John Hill from Sheffield.
John Hill. John Hill. BBC Conspiracy Files. Can I ask you why you've made a film accusing innocent people of mass murder on 7/7 with no evidence at all? Can I ask you why you're ignoring the huge weight of evidence against the 4 men blamed for the 7/7 bombings. You have made a film which is damaging trust in the British government and is undermining community cohesion in Britain. Is that your intention, Mr. Hill? Mr. Hill, why do you hide behind the name Muad'Dib?
Taking his name from a science fiction film, Muad'Dib, John Hill believes the Ark of the Covenant is buried nearby under the hill of Tara. A document on his website reveals he believes he is the Messiah. "7/7 is just one facet of John Hill's bizarre worldview. Since we caught up with him, John Hill has been arrested. He is facing extradition to the UK on a charge of perverting the course of justice by sending DVDs of 7/7 Ripple Effect to the judge and jury foreman in a trial linked to 7/7.
For your own sakes, make copies of this film for everyone you know and for the media outlets in your area. Long live the fighters. Muad'Dib.